What's up, Kris Krohn here, and today I want to share with you how to enhance focus in your life. I seriously think that this might be like an actual superpower. There's tons of things I'm bad at, but when it comes to focus, I can certainly take it to an unhealthy extreme. Check it out.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
You know, today I get to talk about perhaps one of my favorite topics, focus, and I think it's because it's one of my superpowers. Like, I've got some buddies that know how to flip or break dance. I've got other buddies that are just like crazy genius or smart or great at, guitar. I've got kind of a lame superpower, but it's super important to me, which is I have this crazy ability to hyperfocus. I've got some people that even suggest I might be on the spectrum. I've got literally the ability to block everything out of my awareness and just hunker down and stay focused. And I really attribute a lot of my success to my ability that once this dog has found a bone, I do not let go till I get exactly what I want. I've definitely taken that to some unhealthy extremes, but the world that we live in today, it's amazing how many people struggle with holding focus. And here's what I'm observing. They're not holding focus for a tenth of what they need to have success. And I think it's really getting in their way. I think this whole idea of ADD and ADHD and all of these self-proclaimed labels are giving people excuses or inabilities, or we get distracted. Shoot, the reality is we're all distracted by this magical device that miraculously connects to like things up in space and, travels tens of thousands of miles per second. I mean, this technology is really wild. And so a lot of us are capable of having way more success, but we're not, because we just have a hard time focusing. So today what I want to do is, as a person who has some hyper-focus superpowers, I'm going to share with you today 4 hacks, 4 secrets that have worked extraordinarily well for me. I'm going to put them up here on the whiteboard for you. I hope in sharing these that they help you make more money, have higher quality relationships, help you ultimately be happier and live more of the life that you want to. Check it out. Let's dive in. By the way, if you haven't already liked this video, please do that. Help me smash the YouTube algorithm. It'll help more people find me, and I make these videos every day trying to reach as many people as possible. So hit that like button right now. Oh, you did it. Thank you. All right. So here's number 1. If you want to get really focused in life, the first thing that I recommend that you do is you've got to create a specific kind of environment. This is your focus environment. And what you're really doing is dedicating. Environment essentially means set up a place where you can really focus. Don't be where it's loud. Don't be where it's noisy. Don't be where the people are. Don't be where you have outside stimulus, other people's music, traffic, or whatever just kind of getting in your way. It's very difficult to allow your mind to just hone and focus when it's being distracted. So a non-distraction environment. For me, dude, if you've seen some of the videos where I'm at my home and I'm looking out over 40 pristine acres down into the city and I got the lights at night, that place is like my home of Zen. And it's a place where I really get to focus, and I love it. I've also got a place here in my office where I get to focus like that as well. That's the first part, is make sure you create an environment where you can crush it and rock it out. Number 2 is a thou shalt not rule, which is there is no such thing as multitasking. Multitasking is this idea that I can do many things all at the same time, and all we're doing is distracting ourselves. So for example, if you're trying to listen to a podcast while you're working on writing a document and having a conversation with your neighbor, dude, you're screwed. You want to block out, part of hyper-focusing means that you need to shut out all those impulses so that there's only one thing, a clear mind in a great environment, and you're not trying to do anything else. This is not 2 birds, 1 stone. You're just trying to slay one thing at a time. You're trying to slay your individual task. Third thing for me, this is just a personal preference. I actually love relaxing music, but I'm going to put the word spa music because you might want to look that up on Pandora or something like that. Like literally in my house, when I'm trying to get into a meditative, calm, focused state, I'll just have like the calm rustle of leaves or movement of water or just some sweet, gentle tones. And what it does is I listen to music that puts me into a deeper theta state where it's just easy to be more focused and aligned with my thought processes. So you may want to try experimenting with, is there a kind of music out there? I definitely recommend a lyricless music. Keep it instrumental, keep it light and super low in the background to just really create more of a harmony in your mind. But the 4th thing that I really want to share with you, which is probably the most important, is that if you really want to work on taking your focus to the next level, you have to have a clear picture. What are you focusing on and why, and how will you know when you've achieved it? So one of my mentors taught me about something called sacred space and sacred time. This is an individual that said, Kris, reverencing life, everything is sacred. Everything is an act of creation. You're either creating what you want or you're creating what you don't want. Now, this gentleman has since passed on to the other side, but I'll never forget this lesson, because what he really showed me was that when you really stop and become hyper-focused, aware, and conscious, you then can start creating something from a space of consciousness. And this is an act of God. This is God-like creation. So he called it sacred. Your environment is your sacred space, but now you're going to create what's called sacred time, and you're going to actually have an objective. In this moment of time, I'm working on X to produce Y. You want to figure out what that formula is, and when I know exactly what I'm actually focusing on, I will not stop the task until it's completed. And this is something that I learned to do a long time ago that has turned me into like a hyper-effective human being. And if you'll hone in on what we're talking about here, for me at least, this has now meant that I've got the ability to work way, way less, but be way more productive, make way more money. And now I'm using a lot of my time as pro bono service. Like, who can I help? Who can I serve? I also am taking more time on my personal hobbies. Bottom line is I'm having a lot more fun in life. And it's this work hard, play hard, but just get rid of the energy of hard. It's just like when I'm working, I'm hyper-focused and hyper-effective, so that when I'm not working, I am not working. Focus also allows you to become really, really present. So what is it that you want to be really present with? For example, when I make these YouTube videos, I don't just turn on the camera with my team and then start producing. I actually have a process, and the process is me contemplating, how can I serve and what are you looking for? And then I'll actually map out a lot of my videos. I create kind of like a little bit of a bullet point to remind myself, hey, I took clear focused time to think about what I wanted to share with you. I often share different things than what I planned, but I often share at least the items that I put in that plan. They're like right here on my laptop, right? So like this last item, for example, right here that I want to make sure I share is that you should have your what should be related to a very concise goal for the session. If I'm going to set sacred space, sacred time, remove distraction, create a nice harmonious environment, I want to know what I want to achieve. Generally, I have a time frame. I'm going to do this for an hour, and this is the outcome that I want. But either way, I'm not stopping until I get the outcome. Biggest problem that I think we have in society today regarding focus is we have way too many people that say, I'll start something, but I don't have to finish it now. If I don't finish it, I can just do it later. There's a different word for that. That word is called procrastination, and procrastination is the enemy of focus. And so decide which kind of human you want to be. A human that enhances your ability to focus like a superpower, or do you want to be easily distracted where you put things off or you procrastinate? At the end of the day, it's a skill, and it's a skill that I believe you can develop and you can harness. You just have to have a big enough reason why. If you don't have a big enough reason why, then let me give one to you right now. I actually teach people when they come to my events, it's to give them $1 million game plan. I show them how to make loads of money in real estate. I teach them how to build business. I teach them how to buy real estate with no money, no credit. And my events are really intense. But over half of the event is actually teaching the mindset, which includes focus, where I put you through a number of skills and challenges that end up being life-changing in the end. Focus, I think if you wanted to be successful in anything, including real estate, developing a mind that at a moment's notice can dive in and focus, hyper-focus on exactly what it's creating, I think that is one of the most valuable skills that I possess. Because I have this habit now. I never feel okay starting something and not finishing it. I stick with it till I get it. And if I do it early, then guess what? I got more time. I get more life. And that's something that other people have a really hard time creating. So I do want you to know that I've created a video that I think you might like that would be a perfect follow-up to what I've shared here. The video is called How to Be Successful in Your 20s. And as a young man, I became financially free. There were specific things that I did. And so I decided to make a video showing you that, because if you're looking at focus on winning the money game. It will buy your time back, and then you can do a lot of other things. Most people watching this video on focus, it's because you're trying to figure out how to be more successful. So I'm gonna show you how to be more successful in your 20s. Go ahead and click the video over here. It'll walk you through that. Again, make sure you smash that like button for me. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you found some value here and that other people might as well. Hopefully they'll promote me a little bit more. Definitely trying to get the word out and help as many people as I can. So help me out with my mission. I hope today my words have helped you out with your mission. Click that video, check it out, check out some of the offers below, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.